In the film you're about to watch, Bill Maloney bumps into universally acclaimed investigative journalist Donal MacIntyre at the Pope's controversial 2010 UK London visit. What follows is a fascinating insight into the harrowing lives that the two men have to live in order to get their work to you, the public. If you are a supporter of Pie and Mash Films, we would ask you to help us to continue with our fights against child abuse and for you and your family's civil liberties by donating whatever you can afford or by purchasing our films from our website to enable us to continue giving you the hard-hitting facts. God bless all victims and survivors.
Right, so here we are, we're at Westminster and we're getting ready for the Pope to turn up, and we have got a hero with us actually, someone who we all look up to, especially in the kind of work we do, and that person is the wonderful Donal MacIntyre.
Very kind.
Right,
Too kind, rubbish. Anyway.
But now we've got Donal now, he's all done up in a suit. Normally he's a bit like us, see the way I've got this tied up around there, and he looks like a bit trampish and unshaven. Now he looks like a film star, it's unbelievable.
No, it's the makeup, layers deep.
Yeah. And he's
foundation.
And he's an Irishman, the same as me, you know what I mean? So there you go. But he's got the accent and I haven't, so you know, don't hold that against me. Right, so Donal, there's a lot of people out there, you know, it's like the work that we're involved in, Donal, is we had to go into a lot of undercover work and do what we can to get the shots, you know what I mean? Now you were involved in similar situations to us, but now we feel that where your face got a little bit known and people wanted to shoot you and all that, you know what I mean? You had to sort of chill out a little bit and go and do what you had to do. So now we see that we're taking over your man. He's going to sneeze. Right. Get it.
No.
Get it. We'll sell it to the news of the world.
False alarm.
We call Donal MacIntyre sneezing. Oh God. Right. So now we are doing what you used to do, and because of what we are doing, what you used to do, I understand what you went through. So you know what I'm going through as well.
Well, I think if you talk to FBI guys, any long-term undercover guys, infiltrated guys, you know, there is a pressure, and you have to, and you carry the weight on your shoulders of everybody on your team. And I think it depends. Because in many ways you're a free radical. You can probably achieve more of your aims, and we would do journalistic because we're operating within tighter confines. We have bosses and lawyers and all of that stuff.
That's very honest.
So
actually,
I think you have a more opportunity and radical agenda and opportunity to achieve that. As opposed to us, we have to go through all these layers of conventions and everything. Nonetheless, it's a very hugely stressful, and you don't really realize how stressful it is until after you've completed a couple of the big stints, and then you realize it takes you. When I spent 18 months undercover, it took me about 2 years to fully recover. You know, maybe, you know, in truth, it's from the longest of the stints I've done undercover, probably an equal time undercover, an equal time out of cover is what's required to recover from the long-term infiltrated stuff. A day here, a day there, a couple of weeks doesn't make any difference. But you know, fighting the battle, you know, all that pressure over many months.
Donal, can I interrupt you, because you can go on, you know what I mean? He's Irish, like again, and we can talk the bollocks of a donkey.
Paid by the word.
But if I can just ask you, you see. What's happening at the moment? I'm looking all over Facebook, and I'm trying to keep in touch because I represent like a lot of abuse victims. Now I'm interested in the institutional abuse, you know, Donal, and I'm starting to see as I start looking on Facebook. I would never used to go on there, you know, and now I'm seeing so many victims and survivors that are bickering and fighting against each other. Now you know that if you're working in a close unit, everyone has got to be together, Donal. It's like when you went and done your stuff. I know I'm putting it on a broader spectrum to like all the public and the victims. They've got to get involved, haven't they, and not fighting each other.
It's very predictable. You get a lot of very passionate people, very smart people, trying to achieve the same aims. First of all, they'll have different ways of achieving it, right? But they're so passionate about it. You know, even when they're securing big victories, you know, you do. I've just done another job abroad, and it involves some animal welfare charities, and
Yep.
and very close within the smallest of them, even though they've achieved more than they could possibly have done by themselves, and and though the battle's not over, you suddenly find them, bickering over an odd photograph here or there, and you really wonder. You have to remind them, guys, you've got to stick together. Whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve together. But I think when you get a group together, you have to remind them, listen, this, by the way, is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to get terribly obsessed. You're going to think somebody's stealing your thunder, and somebody's taking your throne, or you should be up front, and he's taking my photograph. I should get recognition for that. I said you can win all those little battles, but if you really want to achieve something, cohesive and important, then you've got to do that together and put aside those fundamentally petty differences, but that's the way it is.
Right.
But a lot of that behaviour is group behaviour, organisational behaviour is very predictable. You know, and you can see, and it might be helpful in advance to say, listen, have some insight. You're going to feel like this in a month's time.
Yeah.
And you're going to feel that maybe when two charities or two groups come together, you're going to feel one charity is usurping the other, and so you have to counteract that. But even when you do counteract that, there still is this predictable behaviour. And occasionally I get an email through and say, listen, I'm very angry about this, I'm going to send this email, I'm going to send it, what do you think? And I'm, I guess, and I phone them up, I say, listen, send me, I said, listen, understand, your overall battle, if you want to win some bureaucratic little battle of Mole Hill, fine, but if you want to, achieve something significant on your agenda.
What it is, what me and Donald were saying, stop rowing. What's the matter with you? You just don't do it. You don't row. Me and Lil started rowing. Where would we be? You lot wouldn't be seeing any of this footage. If me and her was having a row and falling out like all you lot are, then we wouldn't be talking to the one of Donald MacIntyre, would we? And I'd also like to say, Donald, I'd like to give your brother a shout. Donald's brother, what's your brother's name, Donald?
Dara.
Dara. Donald's brother Dara, he's recently completed, and it has been aired, a panorama programme concerning the secret family courts. So, this man...
He's a much better journalist than I am, by the way. He's brilliant. He's very strong.
See, that's what you lot have got to be like. You've got to be all lovely to each other, like Donald is to his brother, you know what I mean?
Big brother.
Anyway, Donald.
Pleasure.
I ain't finished chatting with you.
Okay.
Let me just ask him. Let me just ask him the $1,000,000 question. Are you a Catholic?
I am.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we're both Catholics.
Yeah.
Now, how was your talk, Catholicism? What do you think about it?
Well, the most important thing is it's the values of the people who practice it and live it, and not the bureaucracy of the people who run it. And that's where I'm at.
But nothing seems to be following Jesus' teachings, Donald. I tell you what, a lot of people.
But you have to separate. I mean,
it's the opulence.
For me, I separate, and I think.
Times have changed, so we've
got to for me, I separate the values and from the bureaucracy. Because as a journalist, my job is to be sceptical about power and the abuse of power, and that's what we've seen with the child abuse thing. But
that's why a lot of journalists actually go into journalism to try and make it a fairer media. If you like.
I think intrinsically that we start out with just being a sense of support for the underdog.
Yeah.
And being Irish, and that is kind of part of our pathology. Being Irish, you always have one up the underdog. Let's try and support it. But
get the ball and run.
Yeah, that's it. Run. and as a journalist, you're a skeptic. You add a bit of weight to that. But in terms of kind of my religion, I think obviously I'm skeptical of the use of power, skeptical of bureaucracy and management. But I'm very. I think I've seen people who've taken great comfort in the best of the Catholic Church, which represents the ordinary people who every day are trying to improve other people's lives, make better communities, and that's like in every other religion too, So,
can I just interrupt you, Donald? It's like everyone's going on about the Catholic Church, right? And the child abuse allegations against the Catholic Church, etc., etc. It is not just the Catholic Church. It is in the Church of England. It is amongst the Jehovah's Witnesses. It is amongst the Baptists. It is all the religious institutions do have this problem. Trust me on that. But also, what I find is interesting and very honest. What Donald just said to us is like when you work with Lily and I, we are mavericks and we can say fuck and bollocks if we want. But Donald and other journalists that are much respected still have to work like that sometimes. Not all the time, because I think that ITV give a lot more freedom than the BBC. Do you like that?
I work with the BBC too. I think
I know, but
you find they're from the same school. But, you know,
it's the sanitisation of things that we like, you know, because the thing is, Donald, right, it's like, if you go in, just say you're going to Belfast and you get a couple of guys up the street minding your age, you're going to get a few fucks and bollocks, and they're going to be more colourful, and they're not going to be sort of worried about what they're saying, etc., etc. And that is what I would like to say, that a lot of victims and survivors of the child abuse and probably many other atrocities or injustices would like their own to have their voice on the TV. That's why I think you should interview me, Donald.
I know, but I'm not doing a documentary. But I think what's important is that they have it. One, you're giving them the voice, but also every place on Facebook and online, they have an opportunity to put you know, their views on. And documentaries and stories online and YouTube is more important than any single channel. You know, YouTube is more important than BBC One or ITV or Channel 4.
But you know,
that's where it's at. So the old television and those that kind of desperation must get onto network, that's dead and gone, because,
I do believe
online is more powerful than terrestrial.
Online is more powerful, Donald, but we do find, especially when people are fighting for, there's a case called the Holly Greig story. I don't know, are you aware of Holly Greig?
You know, I haven't spent any time, but I've looked at it, but it would take about 2 months for me to get on top of the detail. But,
right, but you've heard of it.
I've heard
what I'm saying is sort of like, I'm not people like you. I mean, you're saying you're giving me an interview, Donald. You know what I mean? You work for ITV, you've worked for the BBC, everything you've done, but you are more or less saying to us there were still things that you would have liked to have done, but were beyond that. Now, a lot of people think you're a genius,
well,
so
you know,
why weren't you allowed your genius? That's what I'm saying.
No, there wasn't anything I shot or wanted to shoot that did not, by and large, appear on air. And I looked on many of our shows that we broadcast. You thought, you know, all the best material is there. So I had no complaint ever with my area. I always excluded the area of child sexual abuse because it's such a very difficult area.
It is.
You know,
why is it difficult? Why is it difficult?
Well, because, you know, people, you know, inevitably it's childhood recollections, inevitably it's very damaged and difficult people, and inevitably it's kind of, it's he says, she says, so it's very difficult to prove. And that's it's obvious why.
Yeah.
So, and it's difficult.
Especially when you get into the nitty-gritty of individual cases, which, you know, I just mentioned Holly Greig, you've heard of it, but I don't want to get into individual cases. I'm looking at the bigger picture. And Donald, like, you know...
I'm only looking on my shoulder because I've got to do a paper bulletin later on, but that's all right.
Well, I don't believe that. I believe he's looking over his shoulder because he's an investigative journalist, and we always look over our shoulder. That's why you're looking over your shoulder. We're looking too, he's going to fucking shoot us. If they get you, they got to get me, especially if it comes from over there. Go straight through me and then through him. I love this man. I think he's great, and he's done a lot for us, and I can't tell you he's done more than what he's done here. Okay? Love you, Donald.
Okay, buddy.
Thank you very much.
Be safe.
Be safe yourself.